Spright just got new tools to deal with the Tearlament overlords. Let's talk about it. If you still need a beautiful playmat, go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code SOLEM for a discount. There's also beautiful deck boxes. So right here we have the Spright Bystial deck. As you can see, it's basically a very small Spright engine, and then where you would normally expect a bunch of hand traps, we have a bunch of Bystials. Best thing about this is that these are actually still bodies to combo with that will also allow us to go second into Tearlaments very well. And if we build our board backed up with like 1 or 2 Bystials, usually Tear cannot break this at all. You will notice we don't have the Melfi package in here because, well, good luck trying to find room, but that is still an option if you don't want to play like this massive Bystial package. And also there's some other options with Bystials as well. So if you want to play an even bigger Bystial engine, you could actually also play Bystial Lubellion together with his search target. So like Lubellion together with branded beast right here would also be incredible to have some more disruption onto your board. My main concern would just be that we are making our board kind of weaker into evenly matched. Sure, you could have like Spright Carrot, but still that doesn't feel that great. Another card that works very well with this strategy is Shinobi Necro, because Shinobi Necro is a level 2 tuner that would special summon itself out when banished. So you could go like Spright Sprint, send the Shinobi Necro to graveyard, banish it with a Bystial, replace that Bystial with a Lubellion, and then Lubellion with a Necro would make a Baron. So that's also incredible. That also makes his Necro like an extender with the Bystials. But my big issue with that is that we are already running the Nimble Beaver package, which is already 3 normal summons. So for that reason, I'm not playing that package, but it's still a really cool thing to consider if you want to change the deck. So for the deck list, we have triple Maxi because Maxi is broken. We have 2 Nimble Angler, and for people who haven't played the TCG or OCG yet, this might be a bit new. This is basically something that becomes part of the deck because of Spright Sprint. So what does this say? It says if this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can special summon up to 2 level 3 or lower Nimble monsters from your deck except Nimble Angler. So this is a level 2 that you send with Sprint, and then you can special summon 2 Nimble Beavers from your deck, which makes Sprint just an incredible extender. So you could go like normal summon Nimble Beaver, special summon a Nimble Angler from deck, link them away into a Sprint, send an Angler from deck, special summon 2 more Beavers, then overlay those Beavers with Gigantic, do full Spright combo and so forth. And then you have 1 more disruption on your board because you have the Sprint, which has like a bounce effect as well. And also if you get like hand trapped, you have like a bunch of extra options. This just makes the Spright deck so much better at comboing. It's absolutely amazing. Then we have 2 Spright Blue because it's semi-limited. Then we have triple Spright Jet. We have 2 red because we do actually like to open them, especially because when you go second, you can like Bystial your opponent, normal summon any of these Sprites, make a Spright Sprint, send an Angler, and have full Spright combo that way. So all of these level 2s now, including Maxi even, are now just together with the Bystials going second full Spright combo, which is really solid. So that's why I wanted to play 2 definitely. Then 1 Carrot, still very solid of course. Triple Ash because Maxi is broken, and then just all the Bystials maxed out. We have 1 Magnamut, wish there were more. Triple Saronir, even though this card sucks, like it's still a Bystial, so it's still great, but its effect is completely useless in this deck. 1 Druis Worm, triple Baldrake. So Druis Worm is like good because it can target special summon monsters and kill them if this is sent to the graveyard. Baldrake has like an insane disruption as well. And do note that you can go like in your opponent's turn, Spright Elf, revive blue, get your search off, and then you can use Baldrake to tribute to blue to banish an opponent's special summon monster. So there's like some synergy there as well. You have 2 triple Tactics Talents because this card does get better when a lot of people are playing Bystials, and also great against Tear of course. 1 Pot of Prosperity because we want to have more starters honestly. Like this deck, the only weakness it might have is that if you do not open like 2 Sprites or your starter or your Beaver, then the deck kind of like suffers. The thing is though, because of all these Bystials, you will probably not die. Like you will pass and then your opponent will try to play Tearlament, but you play 8 cards that say fuck off, and then they can't play, and then it's back to you, and now you can probably play, because normal summon any level 2 plus those Bystials is full Spright combo. So it's not the end of the world, but still we want to play Pot of Prosperity just to maximize our chances. Also, when we were watching the World Championship qualifier, we noticed a lot of Spright players were playing the 1 Prosperity as well. So of course, are we smarter than Worlds qualified players? Probably not. Then we have 2 Call by the Grave because Maxi is broken, 1 Crossout because Maxi is broken, 2 Spright Starter because it's like a starter. Then we have Spright Gamma Burst first because it just gets unfair OTKs even more reliably now thanks to the Bystials, because sometimes you were missing like maybe 1,000 or so, but now these Bystials will just break any board and then you OTK with the Gamma Burst. Then Smashers, part of your end board, and then triple Imperm. Now do note you want to be smart with your Imperm, because once you special summon out a Bystial, you can no longer activate Imperm because your like field has something. So usually when you play into Tearlaments and you have both a Bystial and an Imperm, you want to hold the Bystial so that if your opponent makes a Kid Kalos, you let them do that. You Imperm that Kid Kalos, and now if they magically can still play through, nope, here comes a Bystial. So be sure you're like thinking of the order there, because if you Bystial first and enough Imperm in your hand, you're gonna feel very sad. Now for the extra deck, you notice I'm missing a card. I am missing Avermax. This is of course very important for Spright to beat Tier, but I usually play Tier and brand it myself. I just really wanted to give you my list so you have this as an option as well. Personally, if I want to play Spright, I'm probably cutting my Avermax and like one more card for that little Baron package I was talking about with the Lubellion, but that is way more greedy, trust me. So for the extra deck, we have the Cat Shark because this makes OTKs. We have Onibimaru because it gets rid of annoying monsters. 2 Gigantic Spright because not the best Spright because Elf is the best Spright, but this gets all of your combos going. Downers to make Zeus. Wallow, I know this is not a Link 2. This is not a level 2. What the hell? This card is a crazy new card we can make thanks to the Bystials. So going second, sometimes if you had your 2 Bystials, you make this free Wallow. It makes everything OTK easily. You steal your opponent's cards. You have like Anti-Tearlaments stuff because you're shuffling cards back. I already went in depth on this card in my tier video, but overall, once you start playing with this and Bystials, you'll understand why you play this. It is still really solid. But of course, make sure that you don't lock yourself out of this card if you start with the Spright starter or the Gigantic Spright. But beyond that, you can freely make Wallow and just annihilate your opponent that way. Then we have Zeus. Of course, it's Zeus. We have IP, part of our end boards. Code Breaker to just attack over stuff. If we were playing like Shifter, I think this would also be good to out Bagushka, but we aren't because we're playing so many damn Bystials. Then we have Dark. This actually gets better because of the Bystials in this deck. Why? Basically, if you have any 2 monsters that includes a Dark, and usually you will because of the Bystials, your Dark steals an opponent's Dark from the graveyard. And now you have a Link 2 and a monster, which means you can make Spright Sprint, which means you can dump Angler, which means you special Beaver, which means you have full Spright combo. So Dark by itself is usually going to be full Spright combo. That's why we're playing this now. And then we have 2 Spright Elf, of course, part of all our end boards. This card is so good. This card is banned at DCG. I miss it every day. Spright Sprint, the new card. Some might argue you want to play 2 of this, but I think for now I'm fine with 1. Again, this is always going to dump our Nimble Angler, giving ourselves some Beavers from the deck and just having like free endless extension. Then we have Unicorn to summon off IP, and then the Avermax, of course, against the tier matchup, just IP into Avermax, and that's often going to be GG unless they have the Underworld Goddess. So yeah, this is the Spright Bystial deck. A very fun deck, very cool. I actually played this at a regional. Back then it was still with a little tier in there as well, but yeah, still the Sprites with the Bystials just works together very, very well. I know it's awkward because like the levels don't match and so forth, but somehow because Spright Sprint and Dark puts everything together, and Shinobi Necro if you want to play that, the deck still synergizes in an awkward way. It's also because this deck doesn't really need its normal summon. Like you can technically play Spright Starter, and then like these Bystials don't need their normal, so you can like freely Nimble Beaver. So they do work together, even though like at first you wouldn't really think so. So that is the deck. I hope you found this very interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.